Today's mission, I intend to set up the Helsdon hammock in the backyard and test out some of the sleeping pads in cold temperatures. I think we've actually reached the peak temperature of the day, and it's supposed to get a little colder as we go along. So I'm going to try out the exped, the therm-a-rest, and the generic sleeping pad, combining two of them at once, and we'll just see how that works. I've also, if you ever watch any of the Helsdon hammock videos by Helsdon Outdoors, they show you a way you can take your dry bag for your hammock and just make it into a hanging storage container thingy, storage bag, I guess, on the inside that hangs off of the ridgeline. So I've done that conversion. And even though I'm mainly going to be just testing out the sleep pads, I'm also going to bring a one wind blanket and a one wind top quilt, just to keep me warm, and those should have roughly a combined temperature rating around 10 degrees. We'll see how that works out. Alright, I'll see you out in the yard. So according to the local TV station, this is the temperature now with a 21-mile-an-hour wind. Let's go take a look at the wind chill chart. And that temperature is supposed to go down into the single digits as the afternoon wears on. So here's the wind chill chart. Temperature is 15 out, wind speed of about 21 miles an hour, and that means the wind chill is about -3 Fahrenheit or -19 Celsius. Put that in terms that Americans can understand, because we always avoid the metric system. That's like 747 stacked on top of each other. I think that's a fair approximation. Okay, I'm in the hammock now. Boy, that wind really threw this thing around when there was no weight in it, but I got it hooked up. And I'm snug in the top quilt right now. Got my jacket is serving as a pillow, and I've got the blanket kind of on top of me, but I'm not wrapped up in anything yet. And I'm just going to sit here and warm up. If you watch the guy on the Helsdon Outdoors channel, he had some story about some guy who was always cold, and he told it while he let the inside of his hammock warm up. I don't know the story, so I'm just going to do like the Wizard of Oz thing and tap my feet and say, "There's no place like home, there's no place like home." Pretty cold in here. I'm more or less warm. Got my socks and my pant legs covered with snow. I should probably stick the camera outside too, just to prove that I'm actually in here in a winter's day. So I'll do that right now. Can you see anything out there? I don't know. There we go. So yeah, that's real snow. And wind chill of below 0, and I'm not too bad in here. But I would recommend, if you're able to set up your hammock with the head or the foot end into the wind, do so. I'm basically across the wind here because I have no choice in the backyard. There's nowhere to hook up. So the wind does keep blowing this side flap in. I'm going to have to try and Velcro it down. I have a piece of Velcro that supposedly stretches from side to side underneath, but reaching it is the difficult part. So I will give that a try here. Sunny out too, but it's freezing cold. So here's the Velcro that's attached. Comes attached to the flaps on both sides. It's 3.5 inches long or so. And I attached another piece on the other one. It's too short, so this isn't going to work. So at this point I'm semi-comfortable. The side flap keeps blowing up with the wind. I've got a blanket on me and a top quilt on me. Listen to that wind. And being slippery synthetic materials, they're sliding all over. It's very difficult to try and tuck it around the edges to get underneath of my body. Yeah, look at that. It's just blowing right off of me. So I'm going to reiterate my opinion that sleeping bags are just better than top quilts or blankets. at least in the winter, because this crap won't stay in place. So that crap just won't stay in place. It's so slippery against each other. You know, if you sew them together maybe, but you know, a sleeping bag, it's a one-piece thing. You've got, you know, you don't have to worry about it coming untucked around your hips or your shoulders to stay warm. This might be better if it weren't windy, but you can't count on that. And as far as the sleeping pads go, I think they're doing their job, but I'm having so many problems with the cold air blasting in on me that my back is slightly cold, but it's less cold than my arms and stuff. So for the Helsdon, we've got to figure out a way to keep those straps connected underneath me where I can actually reach them to hook them together. You know, I'm an old guy. It's difficult for me to, my joints don't want to move as well as they used to. And I'm a big guy too, so the hammock's performing well other than that. Yeah, these blankets and top quilts, save them for good weather, summer stuff. Get a real sleeping bag for winter, at least in a bridge hammock. So I don't think I would be able to sleep comfortably like this. I don't know if I want to get my sleeping bag out and try it. I think when I get out of here, I'm just going in and warming up and drying everything off. You know, the manufacturers, they make claims and it may work for them, but you know, you're a different person. You have a different body size, different tolerances for cold or pain, and you know, don't just take their word for it. So this is and I forgot my watch, so I'm not even sure how long I've been out here. Probably only 10 or 15 minutes, but good test though. You know, and the problem with wind is that everyone has a different tolerance for wind chill, you know. I might be fine if it was 0 degrees out here and no wind, but we've got a breeze blowing air in every nook and cranny, every little hole. It's uncomfortable. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll grab my sleeping bag and I'll be out in a few minutes. Or maybe not. We'll see. So we need to come up with some way of securing this flap. It just won't stay down. It keeps blowing up. And I cannot get the 2 Velcro straps to attach. So I'm going to have to come up with a different way. And it doesn't help that I have a left-hand zip on my sleeping bag, so all the cold is hitting this side of the bag where it has the least amount of insulation. But this bag is much better than the top quilt and the blanket. So sleeping bags, in my opinion, are the way to go. And I'm going to suggest a center zip rather than a left-hand or a right-hand zip is the way too, because then you don't have to worry about things like this and getting your sleeping bag bunched up under you and having to adjust while laying in a hammock, which can be a little difficult. Winter camping's already trouble enough. Everything's harder. Well, I'm in my Ridge Runner now with the sock, and the Helsdon is definitely roomier. Camera keeps shutting off on me, so not getting a lot of footage from inside, but I have the Ridge Runner set up there, and very windy today. So I will give you some conclusions when I get in the house. Some conclusions here. These are the zips on the Helsdon hammock. They work pretty well with gloves. These are the zips on the Ridge Runner sock, bivy sock, and whatever you call it. I can never remember that. And they are difficult to use with gloves. So put loops through there, string loops, and that will help. The cam buckles on the Heldson hammock work really well with gloves. very easy to adjust. I use cinch buckles on my Ridge Runner, and these are a little bit harder to adjust with gloves on, and I need to practice with these every time I use them. I can never remember how they work, so I always got to relearn. This is the new piece of Velcro that I've added to the Helsdon hammock to hold the two sides, the two flaps together underneath me, and hopefully that's long enough. It's over a foot, and I think it'll reach. That should help a lot. What happens is you've got the bed basically that you're laying on there, and then on either side there's a flap, and it goes around underneath the part you're sleeping on, and the straps that are on there are too short, so this will go under there to hold the two together, if that wasn't clear before. And one of the main reasons I was out today was testing these sleep pads, and to be honest with you, I had so many issues with other stuff, I didn't really get a good test of these in. I think they were fine. I didn't use the blue one though, but I did use the exped, the greenish yellow one there, and the therm-a-rest military version. I used them both together, and they seemed okay. I did feel some coldness around my shoulders and my back, but for the most part it wasn't real bad, and I think it was warming up. But I had so many other problems with wind blowing in there, and it was really the wind that was the main cause of everything today, of the main cause of all my problems, I'll say that. But you know what, that's part of it. If you're going to be camping in the winter, you got to be prepared for it. So I'm glad I was out there and learned some more lessons, and you should try that too. Don't just go winter camping. Try your stuff, you know, especially the worse the weather, the better the lesson. So right now I think my opinion is that the Helsdon is slightly better for winter use. If weight's not an issue, it was just a little easier to use and set up. I think both of these hammocks are good though. And if you have a rain tarp or a rain fly, that's an extra layer of protection, especially from the wind, giving you that shielding. So if you have that, go for it, use it, and I think it'll help a lot.